Okay, so what we're going to do in this video is take a look at creating a graph within Google Sheets. And so what we've got is copied over the conditions that we have in this experiment. So time on red, time on blue, time on black, the mean, and the standard deviation. So in order to create the graph, the first thing we're going to do is go through and highlight the area that we're going to be interested in. So in this case, we've got the descriptors, the legend here, we've got the mean and the individual values. We're going to insert a chart and it automatically gave us the chart that we want. And so we'll take a look at this, move it around a little bit so that we can work with it. And so what we have now is these three columns within the graph that we can take a look at. Right off the bat, we've got the time on the red being blue, the time on blue being red, and the time on black being yellow. We want to change that. So we've got our graph. Our three colors on this are not what we want. And so we want to change this. I'm going to double left click on the time on red column. This is going to pop up our chart editor over here. So the first thing that we want to customize is going to be the fill color. And so we're going to tell it to go red. We're then going to go down here to add error bars. And the error bars, instead of a percentage, what we want is going to be a constant. So click on constant here. And the constant we want to put in is 5.76. So enter in the value 5.76 at that point. Now at this point, we can go up. So scroll up again. Instead of time on red, we want to look at time on blue. And so double click on the blue. Again, make sure that this is going to give us that. We're going to format this data point. So we're going to make it blue. Time on blue, or we can do it this way. So you could go time on blue, fill color, showing it blue there. Add the error bars. So error bars down here at the bottom. Again, we want to put this into a constant value. In this case, 3.75. And then scroll back up here to time on black. And again, black, what we want to do, go in the fill color, change that to black. And then for the error bars, we are going to go through and again, change the percentage to a constant. And the constant value is going to be this 8.56 over here. Make sure we put it in correctly, get our decimal point in. Our decimal point's not going in. And so you can see we've got individual error bars that are consistent with the standard deviation for the different times. So the black bar is greater than the blue error bar, and the red error bar is kind of midway in between. Now, if we take a look at this, you know, it's getting there. But the first thing we can see is that we've got negative time, and so we don't want to do that. So we're going to right click onto the axis over here. We're going to go to the axis, the axis down here, go to the vertical axis. And for our minimum value, we want to change this to be 0. And so we do that. Again, we change this down from 60 seconds to negative. We've got 0 here. So we're in a good point there, but we're still going to want to add in something. We're going to add in y-axis titles. So click on the graph, right click on it, and we're going to go to chart and axis titles. We're going to go to a vertical axis title at this point. This is going to, didn't pull that in. Why didn't that pull that in? So go to chart and axis titles. We want a vertical axis title. Just popped up our chart editor over here. So change this to time on the ink line. Take a look at that. It looks pretty good. Let's maybe make this a little bit larger. So 24, just playing around with it to give us some different values to look at. So we've got the time on the ink line as our title on the y-axis, our vertical axis. We can go through still using our chart editor and the customize function to a horizontal axis. We could change this instead of saying mean. We could go different ink colors or something to that effect. Get rid of, or actually make this a little bit larger, make it the same size as what we had over there. I think that was 18. And so we're, again, starting to customize that. We've got our legend up here, which, you know, we probably don't necessarily need because we've got the colors red, blue, and black. We can keep that or we can eliminate it. And so we can change the position of it as we've described it there. I'm going to take it out for now. Oops, Control Z. So try this again. So just making sure that we click on, so we're not looking at the entire thing, we're just highlighting this figure legend there, hitting delete and making that go away. And then finally, our chart title itself isn't quite what we want. And so we want maybe figure 1, let's travel for longer times, red ink lines, something like that. Again, we can go through and modify this. And so if we want to make it center justified, we can increase the font size and do it so, you know, make it really big or not. Have to play around with it a little bit to make sure it looks right. And again, if we want to, we can make it bold in that case. If we want to, we can double click on this, hit the shift key down, and then make a forced line break at that point. So you can see that we're getting to the point where we've got a reasonable graph. If we decide that what we want is to make some further adjustments, again, we've got that opportunity to do so using the chart editor over here.